Well, here we are, guys. First off, welcome. Welcome everybody for coming out. Today is a day to celebrate the future of our township. Today is the day to recognize a lot of hard work that's been put into sustainability for Pennsauken. You know, a lot of times people will ask us, you know, what's going on with the town? What are you doing this year? What's going to be different about this year and any other year? And actually, my daughter kind of put it on me hard at the end of last year and said, Dad, you know, you're going to be the mayor next year. What's going to be different? And I said, honey, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to work hard to make Pennsauken the best place it can possibly be. And with that, we have dedicated, not only as myself, but with the rest of Township Committee, to say that 2024 is a year of development. We are concentrated on continuing to give our community the best assets that we could give them. Things like this municipal building and library will change the dynamic of what we do every day. In essence, this becomes an area, and I won't go too much into the library, but the library has changed drastically from when I was a young man. And the new age of what is happening inside of this library is going to set a bar unprecedented. But as far as the municipality is concerned, when you show up here and you have, could just be a question, a bill to pay, you want to find out what's going on in your neighborhood. Maybe you've seen some trucks, Pennsauken Public Works was out there. When you come in now, the goal of this building is for experience, residents' experience. We want you to come in and feel welcomed. We want you to understand that our job is to serve you. And that's what this building will do. It will propel us to give better services to our residents. Now, if that was just it, I think we kind of left you a little bit short, to be honest with you, but we thought a little bit beyond that. We're able to take the two spaces behind us where the municipal building is and the area next to the road. We're going to sell that area off. The library, as it sees now, will become a parking lot for the new building. But what you will also see is a meeting place for our community, okay? You will see a trend where we want people to come to this area as a way to congregate with one another. I was just sharing a story before we got up here to say, you know, when I was younger in high school, maybe even middle school, we would have our parents drop us off here at the library as a way to meet up with my friends that lived around the corner from here. And basically, we may have done some homework, we may not have, but we use it as a way for us to get together, and that's imperative for us. This area will be a meeting place. There will be, we've put in for a grant for a Jake's Place Park. We're redesigning this overflow for the rain as a walking area. We'll have seating area for people to have lunch. This will be an inviting area, okay? This area will proceed, if you took it up the street to Westfield Ave and you went down the street, we take you to our soccer complex where we have another project in full works right now for a community center for this township. So between the community center and the municipal building library, this is where we want people to be able to come together and express who they are in a fun and safe environment. When this project first took life a few years ago, it was much different. And there was a lot of hurdles for us to get through. But it was only because of myself, committee, and our administration, we were able to find a way to get this project done. So today symbolizes future, sustainability, community. That's what today is. So I, as the mayor of this town, as a lifelong resident of Pennsauken, as a member of Township Committee, my life has been dedicated to this town, and the moments like this are unbelievable for me personally, and I'm so proud to be a part of the team that has put this together, and I'm so proud to serve with the rest of my committee. I'm so proud to see everybody here today, where our public works, our police, fire, EMS, the men and women who put their lives on the line every day to make sure that we stay safe inside of this town. We salute what you guys do. It means a lot to us, and today, again, we can't be more proud. So with that said, I would like to introduce our Deputy Mayor, Jessica Rappa, as she has some words to say for you as well.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? All right, this is an amazing day for Pennsauken. First, I would like to share an overview of the project for our Spanish speakers, if I may. Muy buenos días, estamos aquí para celebrar el inicio de la construcción de lo que será nuestra nueva biblioteca y complejo municipal. Los fondos de la Ley de Bonos para la Construcción de Bibliotecas de Nueva Jersey, administrada por la Biblioteca Estatal de Nueva Jersey, ayudaron a hacer posible este proyecto y estamos entusiasmados de llevarlo hasta el final. Es una oportunidad única en la vida que impactará positivamente a todos en nuestra comunidad. Este proyecto actualizará nuestro municipio y biblioteca enormemente, trayendo consigo un cambio positivo para Pennsauken, tanto ahora en sus primeras etapas como en el futuro. Cuando la construcción de este edificio se complete, este edificio ofrecerá diversas actividades y programas para nuestros residentes. Tendremos una biblioteca súper moderna que tendrá muchas más opciones de programación y ofrecerá mucho más recursos para nuestros residentes. Pero esto no es todo. En el lado donde está ubicado el municipio, tendrá un diseño que permitirá que nuestro personal ofrezca un servicio al cliente mucho más personalizado, porque nuestros residentes se lo merecen. El edificio será construido en su totalidad en junio del 2025. All right. We've just heard some amazing things about what our new library will offer, and I'm excited to share some of our residents can expect when they visit our new municipal building and what we have coming and something everyone is really looking forward to. Our new offices will have an open concept that solely focuses on our VIPs, our residents. The township's new resident services area will have all of our departments in one place. If you need to speak with someone from our planning or zoning department, fill out a construction permit, or just want to pay your quarterly taxes, you won't have to go far. You can do it all in just one place. We're aspiring to be more energy efficient by incorporating best practices. The township will also be utilizing more technology to provide state-of-the-art services. We'll also have more room for residents to attend our township committee meetings. And the public spaces we'll share with our neighbors at the library will give us more opportunities to come together as a community. I'm so proud of our team on committee, our amazing municipal staff, and our wonderful partners at the Pennsauken Free Public Library. We have worked together to create something incredible, a space that our residents will truly benefit from. We're continuing to do great things in Pennsauken, one building at a time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So we're going to keep this thing rolling, but before we go any further, I just want to thank a few people here. We have our former mayor, Jack Killian, in attendance. Representatives from Donald Norcross's office. We have Assemblyman Spearman and Assemblyman Mellon. I recognize these people because without our leaders, we can't do anything. So we really appreciate your guys' attendance here. We appreciate your support for everything that happens in our town. We had a few minutes of a conversation a little bit earlier talking about how this stuff affects everybody as a team, and we have an incredible team here in our district, and we thank you guys. The next up, we'd like to have a few words from Robert Fisher Hughes. He's the representation for our library. Please, Robert.
Thank you, Marco. My name's Robert Fisher Hughes, and I have the honor to serve as president of the Board of Trustees of Pennsauken Free Public Library. When the township of Pennsauken was created in 1892, it was a country township of farms separating a few sparsely populated neighborhoods like Bel Air, Pennsauken Village, Bethel, and Jordantown. The first recorded efforts to provide library services to the communities came in 1899 when the township participated in a program of the state library that provided a package of various books to be lent out to the public for a short time before being replaced by another rotating stock of books. Sadly, this effort was not successful in our township for one important reason. There were books to be loaned, but there were no librarians. There was no one to oversee the lending and return of books or to recommend to patrons or to take responsibility for the collections, and ultimately the books were returned early to the state library unread. A library, even more than a century ago, was more than a collection of books to be lent out. How much more is this the case today? Without the professionals who make libraries work, library materials are just so much unrealized potential. A sufficient, capable, and well-managed library staff is vital for libraries to do their work. After this, a variety of other efforts were made to provide library access. School libraries and church libraries held public hours and provided books to parents, parishioners, and others. For a time, the county library system supported limited library services too. An effort was made to create a library collection in the old municipal building after World War II as a memorial to servicemen and women who were lost during the war. However, it was not until the late 1950s that a broad-based effort was made to create a full-fledged municipal free public library for the township. At last, in 1959, the Pennsauken Free Public Library was founded. The new library organization hired a professional librarian and took up residence in the basement of the municipal building. And there it served the public for more than a decade. However, the books and materials crowded in the windowless hallways and program spaces in odd nooks of the basement could not suffice for a growing township with rising popular demand and new technological material. Think of it: film strips, vinyl records, reel-to-reel tapes, and Super 8 films. By 1969, the plans had been approved for a new dedicated home for the Pennsauken Free Public Library. Bids for the project were about to be opened when a prominent figure in the township government, politics, and business suddenly announced that he would himself fund the construction and starting collection. And so it was. And so too it was that his name, W. Leslie Rogers, was placed over the front door to the library building. That was dedicated in 1971. The W. Leslie Rogers Library Building has now served its purpose in the community for more than 50 years. The building saw us from the Dewey Decimal System and card catalogs to the computer and internet age. However, even so, it was a home for a library of another era. A new era in library services for our community must soon get the fuller opportunity it is due. Modern, innovative ideas of community library services demand an infrastructure that would never be achieved and maintained in the W. Leslie Rogers building. Educational and cultural resources of today demand a modern home. We need to acknowledge the funding for this new chapter in the New Jersey Library Construction Fund and the work of our state officials from the State Senate and Assembly to the state librarian to effectuate the will of voters who approved the Bond Act to make this possible. We also express our appreciation for the vision and work of our local officials, including the Township Committee members and the administrators that secured the grant award and additional funding to make this possible. I also want to acknowledge the many hours and demands of expertise and vision that our director, Tanya Finney-Estrada, has devoted to make sure this library will live up to our hopes. We are fortunate that our state of New Jersey and our township administration realize the importance of the Free Public Library, even or especially in a time when the very grounds have been shifting beneath the traditional foundations of libraries. May the new foundation of Pennsauken Free Public Library prove strong and resilient enough to not only withstand the tremors of technological advance and social change, but to still provide for its community the vital services of access and guidance in that changing landscape. Thank you.
Thank you. Great words to be said. Next, we would like to bring up here to speak a little bit here is our library director, Tanya Estrada.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Mayor. Today marks a monumental occasion in our diverse community's journey towards knowledge, enlightenment, growth, and discovery. As we gather here today, I can't help but recall how this journey all started. Well, if you forgot, no worries. I'm here to remind you. In 2017, the New Jersey State Library urged all the libraries across the state to encourage their residents to vote in favor of the New Jersey Library Construction Bond Act. If approved, the New Jersey Library Construction Bond Act would provide $125 million for construction and renovation projects throughout the state of New Jersey. The goals of the bond was to address the desperate need for community infrastructure repairs and updates to library facilities, including bringing libraries into compliance with ADA and providing technology upgrades. The bond also provided a cost-sharing program and workforce opportunities through jobs, construction, and economic development. Not only was the bond voted and approved by residents and state lawmakers, but in a joint collaboration with township officials, the Library Board of Trustees, library staff, and supporters that are here today, in 2019, we applied for the bond grant. For those who are with me on this journey, you can only imagine how I felt when we were notified in 2020 that the Pennsauken Free Public Library was among the 38 libraries in New Jersey to be awarded this funds in the first round. By means of this grant, we are now able to construct a brand new state-of-the-art facility that will provide more space for additional cultural events, new collections, digital skill courses, community gatherings, and many, many other opportunities. What was once a goal is now a reality. Furthermore, once again, as we embark on this new chapter in our community's journey, and as I stand here, that was what was soon be the new Pennsauken Free Public Library, let us remember that a library is more than a building. It is a gateway to opportunities, a melting pot of new ideas, stories, creativity, and a testament that knowledge in libraries can transform lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. All right, now we have next up our former mayor, our current administrator, Tim Killian.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, we're finally here, literally and figuratively. What a journey this has been. In a way, this has been a miracle that many people thought couldn't or wouldn't happen. But look around. Pennsauken Township is getting a state-of-the-art, modern, spacious, unbelievable municipal complex that will house an amazing library and resident-friendly municipal building that will be the best in the state of New Jersey. The journey began in earnest in 2020. However, the groundwork began years prior. Former Mayor Jack Killian, along with former committee members, were exploring the idea in 2017. When he retired in 2019, I had the honor of replacing him on committee, and he asked me and all of committee to make sure that we pick up the baton to get the building built. Mayor, thank you for your leadership and vision and starting the groundwork for all of this. In January 2020, when I became mayor, I asked our former administrator, Joe Palumbo, who was new to the job as well, to look into the project and see if the state was still offering the library grants and where we were with the process. As it turned out, they were. However, the applications were due in March of 2020. Now, if you can remember back then, 4 years ago, there was something else going on in March of 2020. Our friend COVID. Well, let's just say that the challenges started there. Fortunately, the state extended the application deadline to June, so the project team had more time, but we had to do everything on Zoom. I must take a moment to give credit and thanks to our former administrator as well, Joe Palumbo. Without his efforts, diligence, and organization, we wouldn't be here today. Let's flash forward to today. We've dealt with many things, but thanks to the support of the mayor and deputy mayor, who have been involved from the start, the rest of Township Committee, past and present, Tanya, Bob, and the library board, we are finally breaking ground. As the mayor shared all the great things happening in Pennsauken, this project has been the impetus for the transformation of our town and a new vision to evolve the township for future generations. There's a quote that I saw that sums up our town and this project. It is not the beauty of a building that you should look at. It's the construction of the foundation that will stand the test of time. Now, this building will be beautiful, no doubt. However, the foundation of this township, our residents, has and will continue to stand the test of time, and they are what make Pennsauken and this building so special. Today, we should all be Pennsauken proud. Now, we couldn't have done this without some help. There are many people who have supported us over the last 5 years. First, the designers of the building, the architects, RCS, Jeff Schleck, George Nasser, Ken Mahalik. Our engineers, T&M, Doug White, Bob Hunter, Don Newell, Ed Steck. Terminal construction, the builders, Angelina Gambale, Will Nixon. Our construction managers, Remington and Vernick, R&V, Chris Sapernaro, Len Singili, Our legal team from Parker McKay, which is Rick Hunt, Jeff Leninsky, Linda Galella, Lou Maloney, and Chris Orlando. Our utilities in the town, the Pennsauken Water Commission and the Pennsauken Sewage Authority. And our technology consultants, E3IT. In addition to everyone on stage and the folks that were mentioned, those groups are making this happen for our township. Our first new municipal building since 1957. I'd also like to thank our employees for their help and support during this process, and especially Amy Schmalbach, Ryan Wachter, Shakir Ali, Duke Martz, Joe Scavuzzo, and Public Works. So, with that being said, I think it's time to put some shovels in the dirt. Mayor, it's all yours.
All right, guys. Listen, this is what it's about. This is what it's all about. So now we're going to kick off with a little shovel in the dirt. But before that, I'd like to have the rest of the committee, who we did not announce, stand up. Committeeman Olivo and Committeewoman Roberts. You guys have met our Deputy Mayor Jessica. Vince Martinez, unfortunately, could not make it here today, but with this committee that I couldn't be more proud to be a part of, to be able to have this opportunity in time to push our town forward into this direction is humbling, to say the least. So with that said, if we could have Assemblyman Spearman, Assemblyman Moen over to the dirt, grab a shovel. We'd also can have members from RSC, T&M Terminal, R&V, Parker McKay, MPWC, and the PSA, please join in.
Hey guys, committee, guys.
And anybody on this, we're going to have we have a shovel waiting for you. If you're on this deck, we have a shovel, guys. Let's take a walk. Thank you.
Yeah, Frank.
3, 2,